Ben McKee, Ryan Schumpert here in Starkville at the Hump Day, having a little, because it is Hump Day, having a little collaborative team effort here. We're going to have a joint video. Ryan Schumpert of Rocky Top Insider, Ben McKee of GoVols 24/7 here discussing the game in Starkville, a game that did not go well for Tennessee, Mr. Schumpert. Bad first half. We'll start there. It just was not a pretty first half. Tennessee did not show up ready to play unless your name was McKee Ziegler.
Yeah, he was the only guy that showed up for Tennessee, and it was in every single way just a really bad first half. I felt like the first couple minutes, Tennessee didn't necessarily play horrible, just couldn't get shots to go. And then when things started spiraling, that's just exactly what happened for the offense. 10 first half turnovers, they averaged 10.6 a game this season. Like you said, no one besides McKee Ziegler could get going. And then on the other end, Chris Hubbard's the Titans right tackle. Josh Hubbard hits some big three-pointers, and then Tolu Smith, which to me was one of the big stories of the game. Tennessee had no answers for him. That started early, continued in the second half.
Yeah, and Tolu Smith was a problem. And Tennessee did not get good post play tonight, and that was an issue in the first half, and also continued in to the second half. Tolu Smith was just a force down in the post, and I asked Rick Barnes if that surprised him. Not that Tolu Smith was good, because Tolu Smith is one of the best players in the SEC,
no
but
doubt.
if he was surprised with how Jonas had been playing, with how Tobe had been playing, if he was surprised that they were able to have success, or if Tolo was able to have as much success as he did.
Yeah, and he kind of talked about the way he was able to back down, and it wasn't necessarily all just getting the ball on the block and scoring. And I think the first Mississippi State's first points of the night, they threw it to Tolu Smith, and he just went right into Jonas Aidoo's chest with his shoulder, scored. And we've seen that. That's been the issue for Jonas Aidoo defensively, is bigger, more physical big men and just being able to overpower him down low. It really happened the entire night. And both he and Tobe Awaka foul out. I thought Awaka did a little bit better job of handling Tolu Smith than Aidoo did, but just like Jonas, he really couldn't do it all that effectively without fouling.
No, not at all. And the other issue, you had an issue in the post, and then Santiago Vescovi, Josiah Jordan-James combining for 5 points. You're just not going to win many games. Santi did battle foul trouble in the first half.
Maybe played 3-4 minutes, not many.
Was on the bench for most of the first half, and then had to. He made some plays, maybe not as many points, but I thought he made plays on both ends of the floor. But Tennessee's just not going to win a ton of games with those two guys combining for 5 points.
No, you're not. And, it felt like he did make some good plays defensively when Tennessee went to the full court press and got some steals. A number of those were his. But at the same time, you have, I guess Tennessee had made another late run, but there are 90 seconds, 2 minutes left. He has a real bad turnover, forcing an entry feed inside to Tobe Awaka. So some uncharacteristic mistakes from him. Felt like Josiah Jordan-James just was a complete no-show on the offensive end. Not that he didn't do his normal good stuff defensively on the glass, but it's hard for Tennessee to win that way. And it's, I think, especially frustrating when you get a combined 54 points from Dalton Knecht and McKee Ziegler, that you're not able to get a win because your two veteran seniors basically no-showed on the offensive end.
Yeah, and before we talk about the positives on the way out the door, which is Dalton, it is McKee. Talking to McKee after the game and talking to Rick after the game, they did feel, at least in my opinion, McKee flat out said it. Rick didn't flat out say it himself, but I took it as they didn't feel like this first half was the same situation as the first half at North Carolina. North Carolina, they just did not show up ready to play basketball whatsoever. And tonight it was more physical than mental. Yes, you had some mental mistakes, fouling a three-point shooter, Jonas getting bullied through his chest at times. Like, there were mental mistakes, of course, but those are also more physical mistakes than just simply not showing up ready to play basketball.
Yeah, 100%. You didn't have something like Santi in that North Carolina game who gets pulled and doesn't hardly play the rest of the game.
And Rick goes scorched earth after the game talking about him.
Exactly. So you're right. It just felt like things spiraled. If Tennessee would have sat here and pulled it off, I think he would talk about the last minute of the game or minute of the first half where Tennessee got 2 buckets to get it down to 13 when I think it had been up to 15 of kind of starting to settle in. And they didn't let it balloon as bad as they did at North Carolina, which is why they truly made it a game tonight like they didn't at North Carolina. But again, you dig yourself 13-point hole in the first half against a good Mississippi State team on the road. You're just not going to be able to win too many times.
The positives, McKee Ziegler continues to look like the best point guard in the country. I don't even know what to say more about McKee at this point. He was on from start to finish. The big positive was seeing what Dalton Knecht did in the second half. I believe 26 of 28.
26 of 28.
In the second half. And he had just kind of looked like a regular old guy the last couple of weeks after that ankle injury in Chapel Hill. But tonight he looked like the Dalton Knecht of old, the one to start the season.
And again, the efficiency that we saw shooting early in the season. I think he was 9 of 13 in the second half from the field, 3 of 5, maybe 4 of 6 from three-point range. And, again, the full court press sparked everything for Tennessee, and that's what got Dalton Knecht going. They got, I think, maybe 3 wide open threes off of that for him that he knocked down. And then we saw well, it feels like it's been a while since we've seen, probably since that Illinois game where Tennessee was kind of go isolate to him in the half court, and he was able to get to the basket, get to the mid-range, hit a couple shots there, had one blocked in a big moment. But certainly a really encouraging sign. And then, yeah, like you said, this is Kai Ziegler, man. He's just playing at an exceptional level, 26 and 7 tonight, 3 turnovers. Just, what else can you really say about him? He's playing as well as he has in his entire career.
Absolutely. Tennessee's going to have to flush this one rather quickly as Tennessee hits the road and travels to Athens to play Georgia this Saturday, a noon tip as well. So a very quick turnaround. Be sure to lock into Rocky Top Insider. Schumpert and the crew has plenty of coverage of tonight's loss for Tennessee here in Starkville. And then, of course, we at GoVols 24/7 also have plenty of coverage as well. He's Ryan Schumpert. I'm Ben McKee.